Shashi Tharoor says very famously that anything that you say about India, the opposite is also true simultaneously. So that's where we get our strength from and all our madness. We are seeing, particularly today, that women are playing far more substantial roles. They are playing, earlier we had very clear divides between the vamp and the heroine. So the heroine was all good as gold and the vamp was the evil person. All that is changing and she's becoming far more layered. And I think this is a very good thing that is happening. And also, there are a lot of female actors today who, having become big stars by working in mainstream cinema, are aspiring to do something which is beyond just commercial success. And they realize that there is value in doing substantial parts of women who are breaking the mold and upping the bar. Mainstream cinema caters to the lowest common denominator because the hope is that everybody should be able to accept the film. But independent cinema has done just the opposite. It actually locates people within a certain milieu, within a certain class, within a certain background. And so when it came to portraying women in any kind of complexity, you saw that in independent cinema. I think in that way, leading ladies within mainstream cinema also started feeling that there is something more that we should aspire to. And they started demanding that they should do more substantial parts. And some of them have been very brave and also put their monies and produced films. And so it's leading to a changing landscape for women. Because, you know, India is a country that lives in several centuries simultaneously. We have people living back to back from the 18th to the 21st century. And it's also full of contradictions. Those contradictions are reflected in society in the position of women. So on the one hand, we have had a woman president, woman prime minister, lots of women in very important situations. And on the other hand, a lot of sorry situations in which girls are discriminated against from birth just for sheer dint of being born female. So those contradictions you also see in cinema. But there is value and there is traction in portraying today women who are breaking free from that mold and aspiring to be individuals in their own right. I don't think that the female gaze has to be restricted to the female alone. I think if the yin and the yang is perfectly balanced in a filmmaker, that's the beauty of it all, rather than being all female or being all male. But I do think the female gaze requires more visibility simply because there's been so little of it. All our stories have been told from the male point of view. And I truly believe that men and women are different, not better, not worse, but different. And that difference needs to be celebrated in the way we tell stories. Song and dance is a very intrinsic part of folklore and the way we have been brought up to tell our stories. Melodrama is also part of that. And I think instead of shying away from it completely, I think we should dig deep into ourselves and say, this is the way we tell it. And we will. Why is it acceptable if La La Land does it? And why is it strange if we do it? I mean, okay, so we do films. We're no longer making films with 16 songs, let me tell you. But I think that the younger filmmakers, the more urban, Western-educated filmmakers are shying away from using song in the way it was being used. And so it's being used largely in the way it is in the West, which is it comes like a background song or something. We should tell our tales with confidence. If it requires song and dance, so be it.